Swae is the 21st century decision-making platform. Swae is trying to solve the problem of overly centralized decision-making. Companies, cities that are managed in a very traditional, top-down, hierarchical, representative sort of way. We think that model of decision-making is broken. Everything that we understand now about the world tells us that one person or a committee of people does not have enough information to make a very coherent decision on things. They're not experts in these subjects, and even if they were, they don't have all of the necessary information to find the best solutions for the problems we face or the opportunities in front of us. All of our lives are technology-driven, digitally enabled. We can do a lot with the technologies we have access to. We can do things that we dreamed of in movies, but in the era of, in the realms of decision-making, we're not leveraging any of these to make smarter, better, more informed, more inclusive decisions on the most important issues that govern our lives, whether they are economic policy, social policy, urban policy, whatever it might be. It's unbelievably frustrating that the precious insights, experiences, wisdom of all the people that live inside a place or contribute to a project are not tapped into on a regular basis. And as a consequence, we're making really poor decisions on a regular basis in almost every facet of life. We think that model of decision-making is broken. It's very outdated. We're trying to create a new way of decision-making that does not produce the same consequences. Consequences such as really high disengagement rates at work because people don't have a voice. Huge losses in productivity because people don't feel like they're engaged in the work that they're doing. Apathy, whether it's a voter or others inside organizations. Bias in terms of how decision-making is happening and what we call the opinion of the highest paid person. These things lead to us having relatively poor choices to select from. So we anonymize people, we give them access to some tools to articulate their ideas, and we improve the quality of those ideas with artificial intelligence. And once people are ready to share their ideas, then they are made better through the collective input of those that are on the receiving end of those ideas. So whether it's inside a company, inside your city, inside your strata, your homeowner association, you don't have to wait for someone you elected to table some idea that you've had. With these tools, you can express those ideas in a very coherent and very strong, compelling way and see what the rest of the constituents think about those ideas and improve those ideas, and if they gather enough steam, kind of move up to a decision-making round. This form of decision-making and thinking is happening in kind of innovation-friendly or innovation-forward companies. One is a company called Zappos, a huge retailer in the shoe industry. Another example is a company called Bridgewater, run by the world's most successful, most revered hedge fund manager called Ray Dalio. Swae helps you find the best ideas, the ones you didn't even know existed. This doesn't only help managers, it also helps maintain a level of engagement and productivity amongst your employees that doesn't already exist. Why? Because if you change the decision-making structure to say that, look, all ideas, if they're good enough, will be heard, then you're giving people the incentive to actually invest the time and energy, which unleashes the pent-up creativity, the pent-up insights, things that they have that they weren't already channeling into the organization. That doesn't exist in today's work environment. Today's work environment or today's governance environment is, if you don't like it, protest. If you don't like it, leave. This is such a waste of resources forget about the users, the organization themselves, the amount of time they spend training, the amount of time they spend upskilling people, money that they spend doing this, just for them to leave because their voice wasn't adequately included in very important decisions that impact them as well. What I see as the future of decision making is a much more distributed form of decision making, where it's not people that are making decisions, it's a protocol for decision making. There's processes that we follow to make decisions. People will have faith in those processes and will use those processes to weed out good decisions from bad decisions, and it'll improve the overall quality of the decisions that we make, agnostic of where these decisions are happening, inside companies, inside associations, or inside your city. The trajectory is very clear. We make a lot of data-driven decisions. We're going to expect that in all aspects of our life. This doesn't exist today. There needs to be a different way of doing it. And we're here to present that alternative.